It was a bitterly cold night in late December when 10-year-old Jayden Reynolds found himself utterly alone on the harsh streets of Detroit. His mother, a drug addict who could never hold a job, had been killed in a deal gone wrong earlier that evening. With no other family and nowhere to go, young Jayden grabbed the tattered backpack containing his few meager possessions and wandered the icy sidewalks in a daze. He had no idea how he would survive. All the shelter beds were full, and soup kitchens closed for the night. As the frigid winds cut through his thin jacket, Jayden stumbled upon a small alcove between two abandoned buildings. He curled up on the frozen ground, using his backpack as a pitiful pillow, pulling his knees to his chest and trying desperately to conserve what little body heat remained. Violent shivers racked his slight frame as he drifted off into an uneasy sleep, tears streaming down his cheeks from the cruel injustice of his new reality. Over the next few months, Jayden learned the harsh existence of a homeless youth in the Motor City. He discovered where to find food, digging through dumpsters behind grocery stores and fast food restaurants when employees took out the trash. He learned to keep a low profile and avoid areas controlled by gangs and drug dealers who often preyed upon vulnerable street kids. Some nights, he was able to sneak into shelters or abandoned homes to sleep. More often, he huddled in alleys or doorways, always wary of his surroundings. Jayden's life was one of constant scarcity, danger, and gnawing hunger. Yet even in his darkest hours, he never lost his determination to find a better path. An exceptional student before being cast out on the streets, he hungered for knowledge as much as food. Whenever possible, he snuck into public libraries to read books and use the internet to teach himself everything from history and science to personal finance. One tattered, water-stained book he found in a dumpster was about the principles of building wealth. Despite his no context for the concepts, Jayden voraciously studied topics like compound interest, passive income, investing, and living below one's means. He realized that a lack of financial literacy was the root cause of poverty, a truth reflected in his own mother's inability to escape the cycle of poverty, despite working multiple jobs when she was able. He vowed that he would gain control over his financial situation, no matter how dire his current circumstances appeared. After over a year living on the streets, 11-year-old Jayden's perseverance paid off when a mechanic took pity and hired him to clean up around his struggling auto repair shop after school hours. The first consistent income of Jayden's life was just $20 per week, but to him, it represented hope. He immediately opened a custodial account at a local bank with the initial $20, heeding the book's advice about the importance of saving and prudent money management. Each subsequent week, as he added to his meager balance, the seed was planted. This was just the start of his journey to achieve financial security. Working at the mechanic shop allowed Jayden to get off the streets into a transitional home for youths. He maintained a perfect attendance record at school, despite the morning commute of over an hour each way on public buses. Teachers noticed his incredible work ethic, intellectual curiosity, and quiet leadership. He served as a role model for other at-risk students on the importance of education for upward mobility. By high school, Jayden had worked his way up to shift manager at a fast food restaurant, earning $12 per hour, a virtual king's ransom compared to his upbringing. Yet, unlike most teens who would have splurged on frivolous expenses, Jayden remained laser-focused on saving and investing thanks to the financial lessons he had internalized years earlier. After covering his rent at the transitional home and bare necessity costs like food and bus fare, he diligently invested 60% of his remaining income. He opened a Roth IRA and bought index funds, maximizing the power of compounding returns over decades of patient investing. While his high school friends wasted money on the latest fashion trends and gadgets, Jayden lived practically like a monk, wearing second-hand clothes and eating unprocessed foods he cooked in his apartment's kitchenette. His junior year, Jayden faced a major setback when he lost his job due to corporate restructuring and the location's closure. For months, he found himself unemployed and unable to pay rent. Just when he was about to wind up on the streets again, an impressed teacher offered to let Jayden live in the basement of his home in exchange for household chores and yard work. That generosity and willingness of adults to give him chances when others brushed him off instilled a deep sense of gratitude that would shape Jayden's values moving forward. Despite the upheaval, Jayden doubled down on his studies and extracurricular activities like DECA and Business Club. He was determined to get into a good college and create a foundation for long-term financial freedom. Thanks to his exceptional grades, leadership activities, and life circumstances outlined in a poignant personal essay, Jayden earned a half-academic scholarship to the University of Michigan. He worked multiple jobs and took out modest loans to cover the rest of his tuition and living expenses for his bachelor's degree in finance. During college, Jayden applied his studies the moment he learned new concepts to optimize his investing strategy and maximize his income from part-time jobs. He avoided frivolous spending, packed frugal lunches, took public transit, and sought out free entertainment. Every dollar he earned from his jobs went towards either tuition or fueling the growth of his investment accounts. The power of compounding interest by saving from such an early age meant that by the time he graduated with an impressive 3.9 GPA at age 22, Jayden's diligent lifestyle and investing habits had allowed him to amass over $120,000 in net worth, despite such humble origins. It was at this time that Jayden witnessed the initial rise of consumer video platforms like YouTube, as a new wave of creators began earning money by sharing knowledge and advice for free. His passion for teaching and innate communication abilities, combined with a longing to empower others with the financial skills he lacked as a child, inspired him to create his own YouTube channel, simply called Wealth Seeds. Jayden's first few videos were simple, shot in his childhood friend's garage using just his laptop camera. He explained basic money principles like budgeting, savings rates, investing in the stock market, the power of compound interest, and passive income in an accessible, down-to-earth style. His genuine authenticity, relatability, and first-hand experience quickly won over audiences tired of stodgy, out-of-touch financial gurus. But it was when Jayden began transparently sharing the profoundly difficult circumstances of his Detroit upbringing and how financial literacy skills allowed him to escape abject poverty that his videos truly struck a nerve. Young viewers who had never witnessed such grit and determination were inspired. Families in desperate financial situations saw a beacon of hope for climbing out. Personal finance enthusiasts were simply in awe of how someone who had been homeless on the streets managed to build a six-figure net worthwhile still an undergrad. Within 6 months, Jayden's channel had amassed 500,000 subscribers who returned eagerly each week for his brand of practical, heartfelt advice delivered in easy-to-follow steps. Viewer comments became a forum for others to share their own financial struggles and receive encouragement from a community centered around the common vision of wealth building and money mindfulness. As brands began to take notice of the YouTube personal finance phenomenon, Jayden was inundated with sponsorship offers and opportunities to join multi-channel networks. He stuck to his principles of slow and steady growth, partnering only with financial products, banks, and brokerages he fully believed in and could endorse wholeheartedly while retaining full editorial control on his content. His impact and reach continued to grow rapidly via word of mouth from his supportive fan base. By 24, just 2 years after first hitting record on his webcam, Jayden had 3.5 million YouTube subscribers tuning in weekly for his content. Between video monetization splits and well-vetted sponsorship deals, he was generating over $600,000 per month in gross revenue while staying true to his frugal values and investing diligently. At 25, he published his first book entitled Seeds of Wealth, which, leveraging his social media platform, sold over 1.5 million copies globally in its first year. Jayden's discipline paid off. He had achieved millionaire status. Yet the wealth was just a happy byproduct of his mission to democratize financial education and literacy for the masses. Jayden understood his journey represented something far greater than mere money. He used his burgeoning platform to shine a light on the systemic issues that perpetuate the cycles of poverty: lack of access to quality education, financial illiteracy, income inequality, and societal prejudices against the underprivileged and minorities. His rags to relative riches story provided tangible hope for viewers stuck in similarly dire circumstances. As Jayden's popularity exploded on YouTube, he made sure to remain grounded in his humble roots. Despite now earning millions per year, he continued living in a modest rental home and driving a used vehicle, practicing the frugal principles he preached. He saved and invested the vast majority of his income into diversified assets like stocks, bonds, real estate, and small business ventures, determined to ensure his wealth creation became multi-generational. With his platform and voice amplifying, Jayden began booking paid speaking engagements across college campuses, corporations, and non-profit organizations. His fees ranged from $25,000 to $100,000 per appearance, all while providing his digital content for free on YouTube to ensure access for all socioeconomic levels. The more he earned, the more he invested back into scaling up his production abilities and reaching more audiences globally through translations and local versions. By 2007, Jayden's video views had surpassed 2 billion, as his channels amassed over 15 million subscribers who couldn't get enough of his practical money lessons and inspiring perspectives informed by his against-all-odds backstory. Major brands were throwing 8-figure deals to sponsor his content integrations and establish co-branded financial products like investment accounts, debit cards, and personal loans exclusive to his fan community. Jayden's rapidly compounding net worth allowed him to scale new entrepreneurial heights. He launched Wealth Seeds Academy, an affordable online course platform that provided interactive curriculums for everything from budgeting to investing to real estate ownership and asset protection. Within 3 years, over 850,000 students enrolled across 112 countries. For a modest fee between $49,499 per course based on household income levels, people had access to the same wealth-building knowledge traditionally available only to the affluent. The Academy's success vindicated Jayden's belief that lack of money should never be a barrier to self-improvement and financial literacy. He committed to reinvesting all his earnings from Wealth Seeds Academy back into providing free educational resources and funding scholarships for underserved communities. This overarching philanthropic mission attracted other like-minded organizations and influencers to want to partner with Jayden. Personal finance authors, asset managers, accountants, and other experts began contributing to the Academy's content. Major investment firms sponsored scholarship funds for students. The Wealth Seeds ecosystem had evolved into an entire movement. By 30 years old, Jayden's YouTube empire and business ventures conservatively generated over $75 million in annual profits, the majority of which he perpetually reinvested into further growing the Wealth Seeds initiatives and holdings. On paper, he was worth over $1 billion thanks to his ownership stakes across numerous entities, quite literally a billionaire on YouTube. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. If you were captivated by the story I shared in this video, then make sure to hit that subscribe button below. By subscribing, you'll be the first to know when I upload new content, ensuring you never miss out on another compelling story. Don't forget to also turn on notifications so you're always in the loop. Thanks for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.